Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about how to stop absorbing negative energy as an empath. So if you're a highly sensitive person, and it often happens to you that you enter into a certain place and you recognize a negative energy and it drains you out, and you come home and suddenly you feel like that negative dense energy is still present in your system and you don't know how to let go of it, this video is for you. We'll be talking about how to prevent it from happening again, how to strengthen your energy, how to strengthen your mind, how to set boundaries or time limits, how to cleanse yourself and heal yourself, and how to channel it into something better, how to transmute it, right? Because we need to learn to transmute it, to channel it, to do something creative with it. Because negative energy is not bad energy. Negative energy is just more dense energy. And it's present in this world because people don't know how to transmute it. So those of you, or those of us who are more sensitive to it, it's a great work or a great mission to learn to transmute that energy. Most people just don't recognize that it is a part of us. Most people think it's natural, like it's normal to feel that way. But you've noticed that you are on higher energy, and when you're on higher energy, you're more sensitive. And when you're more sensitive, you can sense what other people don't sense, what other people think that it's normal. You know that it's not normal because you know what's normal. What's normal and what's natural is what's pure, right? When you feel contentment, when you feel at peace with yourself, when you're present, when you're grounded, when you're creative, that's what's normal, right? And when we are drained out because we've been exposed to something negative, it doesn't mean that we should avoid those things. We should go to those places and raise them up, right? We should talk with those people and raise them up, listen to them, be compassionate with them. So if you find yourself that you don't have energy to do that, it means that you need to take care of yourself so you can recharge yourself, right? So firstly, negativity has power only when you respond to it. In other words, when you stop responding to something negative, we become more observant, and therefore negativity naturally neutralizes by itself. So that's what we need to learn to do, to stop responding, or even worse, reacting. Stop reacting to negativity. And maybe we can wonder, well, how to do that? You come to a place you would describe as negative, a room that you would describe as negative. There's many people gossiping, complaining, talking negatively about everything. How to stop reacting to it or responding to it? Well, find what makes it interesting. I always find those things as an inspiration for my work. Because sometimes, if I'm a lot at home creating, doing what I'm doing, I forget sometimes that there's many people suffering. So I need to go outside into the world and see what's going on. See through what people are moving through. I love to talk with people. I love to meet new people because it helps me to know what's going on. I don't like much reading news, so I'm not doing it much. And I rather go outside and talk with people. So, when we find people that are negative because there's a lot of traumas in them and there's a lot of stored emotions, they don't know how to resolve them. They just need somebody to listen to. And when you listen to that person, if you would just observe that person, you could say, well, that person is really negative, really toxic, but maybe that person has a social anxiety and that's the coping mechanism of that person. Maybe that person has a really, really hard past and that's why she or he is behaving that way. You don't know through what that person went through. So stop just framing people like, oh, this one is toxic, this one is negative, this one is bad. We need to learn to be more observant, right? And to be more compassionate. And that is a great cure for stop absorbing negativity, right? You don't need to attach yourself to that pain or whatever. As soon as you start judging them, framing them, talking about them in a negative way, you start absorbing that same energy, and that's what is affecting us. So the thing is that most of the time we do it unconsciously. We go to certain place that we would describe as a negative place, and as soon as we get there, we unconsciously start judging it. Oh, what a bad place. Oh, what a bad energy. Oh, so many toxic people, and so on. So you completely unconsciously start absorbing that energy. You're there to be light, not to become same as everybody else, right? You're not there to absorb it. You're not a victim of that place. You were not sent there to be a victim of it. You've come there to share some of your light, right? So become aware why you've come there, why you've came there, what's your purpose there. Recognize, you can notice at what point it starts draining your energy. Notice at what point it starts draining your energy, and you will see how much time you can spend there. It means that doesn't matter where we are, at some point we start to feel drained out. And more the heavy place will be, faster it may happen. But when we start building awareness around it, it may be much easier for us to catch ourselves before we completely drain out. And it can help us to prevent it to happen next time, because we will become more aware. Like, let's say 30 minutes in the grocery store, it's the limit. If I will be there for 40 minutes, it may be too much. And by knowing that, you can make a plan for the next time. And you will see eventually, as your energy is increasing, you will also notice, okay, this time I was 50 minutes and I'm still okay. It's a sign that my energy is much, much stronger, which means that you are stronger. And it's a great sign that you're doing a great work on yourself and your light is becoming stronger, right? So recognize what's your unconscious response to when you come to places that you would describe as negative, or when you're hanging with people you would describe as negative, and see if you can be more observant, more compassionate rather than judgmental. It will make a huge shift in your life, and that's how you will prevent it from happening again. You will stop attaching yourself to those external negative forces. Then, how to strengthen your energy. It's not about crystals. It's not about anything of that. I like to use what I have, and that's mind, body, and my emotional system. Whole combination is what we call spirit, right? So everything together, when we use everything together, we become magnetic, we become strong, we become empowered. When we align everything that we have, we become empowered. So how can you strengthen your energy? Well, firstly, if we look the way that our physical body is the manifestation of the energy of mind, emotions, and everything that's moving through us, then if we reverse engineer and we take care of our physical body, it makes sense that also our energy will increase. And if we're taking care of both aspects, like we're taking care of mind state, meditating, right? taking care of our spiritual practices, whatever we do that helps us to stay in center, to stay mindful, to stay grounded. And we take care of the physical body. We take care of the immune system. We take care of diet. We take care that we're staying active, working out or walking, running outside in the nature, and we're spending more time in nature. It makes sense that our energy will become much stronger. Have you noticed, for example, that you went outside for a run and then you went to a place that you would describe as negative, but you were not affected by it because you were on your peak state. When you're in the peak state, nothing can touch you, right? Nothing can move you. You're strong. You're like a pillar. Nothing can move you. And that's what we need to learn to build in our lives. That's why it's so important to take care of all aspects. That's why all of my videos are practical so we can learn to take care of all aspects of our lives. So make sure that you're staying active. And it's the knowledge from ancient times. People were taking care of their bodies the same as of their spirits. People knew that. But because we're living in those modern times, there's so many new distractions, like phones, news, notifications, and it's much harder to stay in center. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible. Whatever is evolving, we need to evolve with it. So if you're not staying strong in yourself, you will get weaker by environment. And I want to remind you to truly take care of your body. So take care that you're staying active. Find a certain workout routine that will be really joyful for you, and you will find a great benefit of it. I like strength workouts. I like lifting weights. I'm passionate about it. I like going outside on my bike. I actually love it. I'm doing it for such a long time that it just provides me something I can't find anywhere else. And then spending time in nature. More time we spend in nature, more natural we become, right? That's what nature is teaching us, to become more natural. So take care of that. Take care of your diet. Make sure that it's nutritious. Eat what feels right for you, what resonates with you. Take care of your sleep. Make sure that your sleep is on the best level of quality. Take care of that. I've noticed for myself that if I'm going to sleep at a similar time every single day and I'm waking up at a similar time every single day, I start to sleep much better. And if I have a great before bed routine or ritual, I will sleep even better. I always set an intention for my sleep, and sometimes if I don't, I will not sleep as good as if I set an intention. So power is in intention, and you can actually use an intention every time you go to a certain place. Set a truly clear and precise intention that your energy is staying pure and nothing can touch you. Nothing can touch you, nothing can move you. Play with it. Find or create intentions that will work for you. That's how you will strengthen your body. Then strengthen your mind. Recognize, and this is truly important. So often when we are affected by certain negative energies, we unconsciously start thinking about what's going on. In a way that we start judging the environment, or we start judging people, or we start negatively thinking about certain things, or we start blaming ourselves like, oh, I'm so weak, oh, what's going on? And it means that those are our coping mechanisms. That's how we respond to that kind of an energy. And the first thing we need to do is to become aware of those mechanisms, to become aware of those mental patterns. That's what starts happening, and that's how that energy is affecting you, and that's how you attach to it. That's how you start responding to it. And when you become more compassionate towards yourself and also towards the environment, wherever you are, maybe in the past you would describe it as a negative environment, start looking for the interesting parts of those places or those people. What's interesting about it, right? If you're there as a healer, let's say you've come there as a healer, you brought some light to it. What's interesting about this place? What's interesting about those people? And just see that place or those things, those people from that other perspective. It may not work all the time, but work on it. So we can shift the perception and transmute the energy. This is really, really powerful. Every time you start judging others and the environment, you plug yourself to that energy. When you become more compassionate towards that environment and those people, you cut the stream or strain that is connecting you to that energy. So you can stay wherever you are and you will not be affected by it. It's a work. It will not happen immediately, but it's something that we need to work on. So be aware of that. That's how you're strengthening your mind. But the other part is also focus. What is our attention span? If you are wherever you are, you're there with a certain purpose. Like when you go to a grocery store, you didn't come there to absorb the energy of that place, right? You've come there to buy the things you need and to spread some light, right? to share some generous smiles with strangers and do your thing, right? Stay focused on that. Who cares what kind of energy is there? You're way beyond that, right? So who cares? But you also need to know that it's not your fault. You just don't have the right tools to deal with those kind of energies. You don't know how to change that. That's why you feel it. That's why you absorb it. So I'm giving you a few tools that may help you with that. Strengthening your mind is such a powerful practice. Becoming aware of our mental patterns, especially of those unconscious patterns that take place or become active when something we would describe as negative happens. Be aware of that. Then recognize if you could set some limits, some boundaries, for example. When you start to feel drained out, consider leaving the place or people. But in case that's your job and you can't leave, ask yourself what is your contribution to that place and focus on the bigger meaning of you being there. This is so important because if that is your job, most probably you're meant to be there. And if you can't find any purpose or meaning or any interesting thing about that place or those people there, then it would be a good time to change a job maybe. Consider that. But for now you are there and try to find interesting things about it. Think about what's your contribution at that place. Not so much on what you're getting in return, but what's your contribution. It's about the energy you're giving, not what you think you should receive for what you're giving. Because that puts us back into the lack state. But think about what's your contribution there. Focus on the bigger meaning for you being there. As an observer, if you observe yourself being there, what's the bigger meaning behind it? You will notice that it's possible to step outside of the box of being just a victim of energies, and you will notice that maybe there's a soul path you're walking on, and you will notice that maybe one day in the future, maybe right now you can't even figure out what's the meaning of you being there, and you think you just need that job for the salary But one day in the future you will find out that there was more to that. But if you start seeking for bigger meaning for you being there, you will notice that maybe you can find it already right now, and it will help you to see the things from other perspective. So again, you need to step into that awareness of an observer and just question things differently. So sometimes it happens that we are affected by negative energies and we just don't know how to let go of them. We start thinking about what happened, we start thinking negatively about those people, we start feeling those negative emotions. So what can we do? Well, nature is our natural healer, right? And nature will help us to cleanse ourselves or to shake off that energy. But we need to know how, right? So for me, I found out that if I go to a river, it just has that cleansing effect. And the sound of the river, to me, it makes an effect that because of that sound, I can't hear my thoughts. So if I'm staying there for enough time, like 20 or 30 minutes, I will feel completely cleansed. And then I will just stay mindful, present, grounded, and I will focus, rather than my past, I will focus into my future. Like the plans that I have, things I need to do, my passion projects, whatever I'm working on, I will focus on that and I will let go of anything that happened. So the act of letting go means that you become aware of what you don't want to think anymore. You recognize it and then you get present with whatever helps you. For example, to me it's a flow of a river in the nature or a long walk in the forest, and I really feel connected with it. I feel present with it. And then I focus into my future, my plans that I have, my goals, my schedule, my passion projects, and so on. And when you attach your energy into something that is meaningful and important to you, you will detach from something that is meaningless and unimportant to you. And you create that shift that will make huge effect on your energy system, and you will feel it. So use nature as a natural cleansing opportunity, or you go to places that allow you to experience the presence, the beauty, the wonder of nature, and be there for as much as you need. And then find something, because maybe you can still come home and you still feel that negativity present within you. Find something you are passionate about, because it will help you to channel and transmute that energy. This is so important. And to me, it's painting and making videos. Sometimes I come home from certain meetings or certain conversations, and sometimes some people are just have more of the suppressed emotions, and when you talk with them you can feel it. And sometimes I come home and I feel that, but then I ask myself what I've learned in that conversation, what made that person interesting, what could I share with you guys about what I've learned. And suddenly I start filming a video and I recognize that I've started channeling and transmuting what before I've considered as something negative. It transmuted into a positive inspiration. And after that work, I feel completely cleansed. That's how we can channel the energy. We feel something heavy and we can use it as an inspiration. Let's say you've been in a fight and you don't know how to shake off that negativity. But then if you reflect what happened before the fight, you may recognize that there was a certain pattern, something. Maybe you've shared a belief that was not in alignment with that person and it initiated a fight. Or whatever it was. When you notice what kind of pattern was leading you into the fight, you can find it as an inspiration to work on yourself, to change it, to stop repeating mistakes, to stop repeating what is not working for you or for that relationship. And to work on compassion, right? So we can use it as an inspiration and write it down. You can write it down as a story. If you like writing, write it down as a story, like being as a third person, writing down a story, and it will help you to channel that energy. You can then burn that story if you want, or you can send it to, or you can put it somewhere where you will be able to read it after a few years to see how much you've grown and how much it helped you when you wrote it down. So that is something truly powerful, and often people just don't do that because they don't know how powerful it is. Or if you like to draw or paint feelings that you feel, or find inspiration in it and paint it. Like, you know, I've painted rose that grows through the concrete, and that painting is inspired by you know, that feeling when you feel surprised by our environment, when people around us don't see the potential within us, and we could be victimized by it. In the past, I was not supported by my environment. When I was a little kid and I had a great dream to be a professional athlete in extreme sports, nobody supported me. But I did it anyway. I've built my own place for practicing, and I did it anyway. I was not a professional athlete, but I was passionate enough to train, to practice, and to become good at it. So I've noticed that I don't need external support. If I'm passionate enough, if I truly love to do something, I can be my own support. And that was an inspiration for that painting, Rose That Grows Through the Concrete. And of course, I found that many people who learn to transmute the energy. Actually, Tupac wrote a poem about rose that grows through the concrete, right? And somebody bought the print of that painting and wrote a poem on that painting as well, and sent me a poem, and it was really inspiring. And you know, there's so many ways we can use to channel something that is bothering us into a positive inspiration. Maybe you can just film a video and put it on YouTube and make it as an inspiration for somebody else. Work on that. And the last thing I want to give you here is mindfulness will help you to protect yourself from connecting to external energies. So mindfulness is teaching us to be present, to be grounded in this moment. Mindfulness is teaching us to calm down our minds, to learn to tap into inner quietness. When we stay in the inner quietness, we are not interacting with external forces, external energies. So if you can stay mindful wherever you are, you will not be absorbing negativity from your environment. And you may experience that the way that you may come to a place you would describe as toxic, but for example, you have headphones on your head and playing a music that is really pleasant or inspiring to you, you will not feel anything from your environment. You will stay in your zone, right? That's what it means. When you stay mindful, for example, you will stay in your zone, so you will not be affected by the energies around you. But as we're practicing and working on it, it doesn't mean that we will become just the best at it immediately. We are work in progress, so we need to be compassionate towards ourselves, we need to be patient with ourselves, and we need to understand that we shouldn't avoid those places. In order to become strong, you need to do what's heavy, right? If you go into the gym, you don't lift the lightest weights and hope that you will get stronger. That's what we do when we start avoiding toxic and negative places. If we want to make this world a brighter place to be, we need to go to the places that we would describe as negative and share some light there. And that's why we need to know ourselves. We need to set boundaries. We need to find the limits for our present state of being. How much is enough and how much is too much, right? And self-awareness will help us with that. So, my friends, focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. You know, you can control your attitude, your thoughts, you can control with what kind of people you're hanging with. Make sure that people that surround you are people that are lifting you up, people that help you to cleanse yourself from negativity. You can control the physical well-being, you can control how you treat others, you can control whether you ask for help or not. It's in your power. You can find a coach, you can find a therapist that can help you with that. It's in your power. You can control how grateful you are for what you have and what you want to have, how you're investing your time, your energy, your money as well. That's all in your power. You can control whether or not you try again after losing yourself in negativity, after being affected, going back to those places stronger than ever before. You can control how much you're taking care of your mental health and how much you're raising your energy, healing your emotional wounds, taking care of your shadow work. If you're wondering what's shadow work, you can Google it, you can write in the comment section and I will make a video about it. You can take care of your habits as well. And if you design habits around what we've been talking today, it will just become natural to you to be strong in your power, to be empowered by you, to be creative by nature, because you are creative by nature. Many people have lost that gift because they've become so distracted by external forces that they forgot who they are. And I'm reminding you to get back to you so you can remind yourself who you truly are, so you can bring yourself to the world and make it a bit lighter place to be, because that's your power. So my friends, this is it for today. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings and power. I hope you found something valuable here today, and let me know in the comment section if it was helpful and if you would like to see more of those kind of videos. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting as well, the dragon, perfect fit for today's message, right? My friends, I'm still running a giveaway on my Instagram page, I Draw My Passion. Go there and check it out. You can win a free print of the painting, Create Your Own World. And thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. Till next time, stay beautiful, stay magnificent, stay creative, and put that generous smile on your face, because you just look much better with it. One love, my friends.